My name is Cathy Bopp, and I have lived in Springs for 27 years.
Hi, my name is Alanna Quinn, and I've lived in Hampton Bays for 6 years.
We are at the Phoenix House East Hampton outpatient program. We provide outpatient substance abuse treatment services.
We have ages from 15 to 18 and older.
Initially, before the pandemic, we were providing in-person services. And I remember hearing about the pandemic and the need for social distancing and to be 6 feet apart. And it was a Monday morning, we were doing the stress management group, and I remember looking around the room going, I don't know if we're quite 6 feet apart, how are we going to work this? And then the next day, everything was shut down. We pivoted to the phone at that point. So we're calling people on the phone, providing services through there. And then it was probably the day after that, we met the wonderful world of Zoom. And that's where we continue to provide many of the services that we still do. So the need was always there. The way that we delivered the services changed quite rapidly.
The pandemic brought on considerable amount of fear and uncomfortability that people did not want to leave their homes. People were afraid of their neighbors. Their communication, their connection, it dissipated.
Many people were isolated, going through a lot of stress, and did reach out for help.
Family members of people who have substance abuse addiction do want to come in and learn how to navigate and support their family members who are going through this. And we're also seeing a lot more teens come in now. And unfortunately, the pandemic has been extraordinarily stressful for them, especially children who are impacted with ADHD, who need to sit behind a screen for hours and hours on day. How can they balance that? How do they function? Addiction
is really a disease that thrives in isolation, and people really are craving that human contact.
There was one woman who came in, and she had suffered from alcoholism many, many years ago, but for a large part of her life until, raising her family. Her daughter now is experiencing alcoholism, and she has children, and she is isolated. And she was here to help support her daughter. How is she being a grandmother who is now being a parent? The stereotypes from this pandemic really have been shattered, because many more people are turning to substances because of the isolation, because of the unemployment, because of all the social determinants. So I believe that hopefully that we can all come to a central ground when we are educating and helping those in our community. Unfortunately, due to state funding, it has been more difficult to assume all of the responsibilities without the additional funding to provide for more staffing. We have longer hours, we have a lot to consider, especially with the pandemic, and really truly having safety for our patients. Absolutely, telehealth we're thankful, and it has been a great innovation to connect with patients. But for me personally, it doesn't supersede the face-to-face contact. That's what people are still craving, and that's why we are working hard to get more face-to-face patients and get patients back in here on a regular basis.
It's also hard to establish that relationship or that rapport with someone over the phone. That took a lot of extra work. Coming from an urban environment to, I call this like semi-rural, that's a big change. it's different when you're coming out on the weekends or the summers versus now you're here. This is your primary residence. And I think that combined with, now I have a lot of time on my hands, I think alcohol was what we really saw the most people turning to. And people did reach out. Monday, things were one way, and Tuesday it was completely and just totally different. So my takeaway from this is to just be appreciative of everything and every moment, and don't take people for granted.
We are very connected. Through hardship, no matter how difficult that it is, there are small threads, a golden thread. There is a positivity. You know, we are, through the hardship of not seeing our family, we also turn in and we see that we miss them. We see their value. And if this didn't come about, maybe conversations that you have had, you would not have had.
Scary. Scary, again, that this unknown thing out there that's changing everything. I remember sitting at my desk looking out the window, and two guys got out of the car and they put masks on and they were going into the store over there. And I thought to myself, if this was a month ago, I'd be calling the police. But now this is normal. You know, this is normal. So if I had to pick a word, scary.
I would say perseverance. I see that I get up every day. I make sure that I have my masks. I do what I need to do. I make sure I sanitize my hands. It is becoming, for a tired phrase, a new normal, but we can get through to the next step. It's sometimes tough to take a look at a gratitude piece when you're feeling so heavy from this, but if we peel it back, and you might have to keep on peeling it back, but it's there.